This is the Mind the Gap podcast. It's presented by Michael Comyn. Please like and subscribe and tell your friends about it. You'll find more information and episode notes on www.mindthegap.ie. Here's this week's episode.
Picture this. You're having a great day. Maybe you've spent time with someone you love, achieved something meaningful at work, or simply savoured a quiet moment with your morning coffee. Then, in an instant, the weight of the world creeps in. Headlines flash before your mind's eye. War, climate change, social injustices. Your joy feels misplaced, even selfish. You find yourself asking, how can I be happy when there's so much suffering? This feeling, this guilt for experiencing happiness when things around us seem to be unravelling, is profoundly human. We're wired for empathy and connection, and with that comes a heightened sense of responsibility. But what if we've misunderstood our happiness? Not just in how it serves us, but how it impacts the world. The Stoics, ancient philosophers who faced their own times of profound uncertainty, offer a valuable lens to reframe this emotional conflict. Their wisdom teaches us that joy is not an indulgence, but an essential part of resilience. When combined with insights from modern emotional intelligence and the research of, for example, Brené Brown, we begin to see that our happiness, rather than betraying our empathy, becomes a resource, a strength that fuels our capacity to engage with the world in meaningful ways. The psychological roots of feeling guilty about happiness are complex but relatable. Empathy, our ability to feel with others, plays a significant role. When we're acutely aware of the suffering around us, we're naturally pulled towards it emotionally. This guilt can feel like an attempt to align with those who are struggling, a form of emotional solidarity. But does this guilt serve anyone? Seneca, one of the great Stoic thinkers, offers a sobering insight.
The mind that is anxious about future events is miserable.
His words remind us that while empathy connects us to the world's pain, it can also ensnare us in a cycle of anxiety and helplessness. Modern emotional intelligence echoes this sentiment. Daniel Goleman, a pioneering figure in the field, describes how unmanaged empathy can lead to empathic distress, a state where we become so overwhelmed by others' emotions that it paralyzes us rather than spurs constructive action. Brené Brown, whose research delves deeply into vulnerability and shame, adds another layer to this understanding. She explores how guilt often intertwines with shame, the painful belief that we are unworthy of joy, especially when others suffer. In her book, The Gifts of Imperfection, she writes,
"We cannot selectively numb emotions. When we numb the painful emotions, we also numb the positive emotions."
This insight is vital in understanding why happiness is often tainted by guilt. In trying to protect ourselves from feeling guilty, ashamed, or unworthy, we inadvertently dull our capacity for joy and gratitude. It's a form of emotional self-sabotage that disconnects us not just from our pain, but from the full, vibrant experience of life. So where do we go from here? The Stoics proposed a liberating idea. Our emotions, including joy, are within our control and need not be dictated by external events. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, famously wrote,
You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength.
Aurelius' advice urges us to look inward. It's not the world's chaos that dictates our emotions, but our internal responses. This doesn't mean turning a blind eye to suffering. Rather, it's about cultivating an inner stability that allows us to face the world's challenges without them overwhelming us. Now, this approach resonates with modern emotional intelligence, which emphasizes emotional regulation, recognizing our feelings without being ruled by them. It teaches us to sit with the discomfort, acknowledge it, and then pivot towards constructive action rather than guilt-ridden inaction. From a Stoic standpoint, joy isn't mere pleasure. It's a profound sense of contentment and alignment with our values. It's what the Stoics called eudaimonia, a state of flourishing that comes from living by our highest principles. This isn't happiness in the fleeting, superficial sense, but a deep state of thriving that sustains us through adversity. Imagine happiness as a source of fuel, an energy that keeps us resilient and engaged. By embracing joy, we build the emotional reserves needed to navigate challenges and support others. Marcus Aurelius captures this beautifully.
Don't set your mind on things you don't possess as if they were yours, but count the blessings you possess and think how much you would desire them if they weren't already yours.
This isn't just a call to be grateful. It's a reminder that our happiness and gratitude are potent antidotes to the despair that so often engulfs us. Feeling joy doesn't mean ignoring others' pain. It means fortifying ourselves to show up better with greater compassion. Modern psychology supports this view. Positive emotions broaden our thinking, enhance creativity, and build our resilience. Even in small doses, happiness contributes to our overall well-being, a truth that often gets lost when guilt overshadows joy. Brené Brown's research reinforces this concept of joy as a strength. She emphasizes that gratitude is more than a feel-good exercise. It's a deliberate practice of recognizing and savoring the moment that sustains us. Brown discovered that joy and gratitude are practices, daily choices we make to see the world with a broader, more open heart.
Without exception, every person I interviewed who described living a joyful life or who described themselves as joyful actively practiced gratitude and attributed their joyfulness to their gratitude practice.
So, how do we embrace joy without feeling guilty? One critical Stoic practice is mindful reflection, focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we cannot. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, reminds us,
"It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters."
in practical terms, this means acknowledging that the world is complex, full of suffering, yes, but also full of beauty, kindness, and moments worth cherishing. One does not negate the other. Journaling can be a powerful tool here. Documenting moments of joy and reflecting on why they matter helps reframe happiness as a valid, even necessary part of our emotional landscape. Brown suggests another technique, giving ourselves permission slips to consciously embrace joy. She encourages us to write affirmations like, "I give myself permission to enjoy this moment without guilt," reminding us that happiness is not a luxury, it's a human need. These small yet powerful acts counter the narrative that joy is indulgent or selfish, reframing it as an act of courage. Emotional intelligence further underscores the importance of gratitude journaling, not just as a feel-good ritual, but as a tool for retraining our brains to recognize the positive amidst the negatives. This isn't about ignoring the bad, it's about seeing the full picture. Brown's work also addresses the fear of judgment, the worry that our happiness might seem insensitive or indifferent. She argues that authenticity is the antidote, standing firm in our truth and embracing joy without shrinking.
Vulnerability sounds like truth and feels like courage. Truth and courage aren't always comfortable, but they're never weakness.
By embracing vulnerability, we also allow ourselves to experience joy fully, without the shadows or shame of guilt. Living wholeheartedly, as Brown calls it, means honouring all our emotions, joy included, and showing up in the world as our most authentic selves. Imagine your happiness as a garden. You tend it not just for yourself, but because it brings beauty and peace to those around you. A well-kept garden doesn't ignore the storm. It finds ways to thrive despite it, providing shelter, inspiration, and respite to all who pass by. Marcus Aurelius left us with a powerful thought.
Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one.
Instead of debating the morality of our emotions, we should strive to live with integrity. Let your joy guide you towards meaningful actions. Let it remind you that even in life's darkest moments, there is a light. Mind the gap.
That was the Mind the Gap podcast. It was presented by Michael Comyn. Please like and subscribe and tell your friends about it. You'll find more information and episode notes on www.mindthegap.ie.